Thank you very much.
Okay, good evening everybody. For the last time this season, we'll start with Nazar.
Hi Thomas.
Hello.
How do you feel after the completion of your 63-game season and doing it with a win?
And finally a win.
And doing it with a win, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I thought we make it again and we do it again, play again a draw at home, and then Ross finally, Reece and Ross turned the thing around again in our favor, which is a kind of a mood changer, I have to say, for today, and we are happy to end it with a win. And the season was more or less finished for us. We wanted to end it. We gave some players the opportunity to play who didn't have so much minutes. So I'm happy that they could show up and take a deserved win. And it is in general a big step in the right direction in terms of consistency for us. If you look at the last years, we have only been in top 3. This is very good. There's always room for improvement. The level of consistency of City and Liverpool was too much for us, was too high. It will not get easier to close this gap because while we are forced to be passive, they are improving their squads. So but this is the challenge, and we need to be fast and smart when it's possible to have a competitive team.
Nick Pure.
Thomas, within that, obviously, because you haven't been able to move things forward in terms of either renewals or future signings, how difficult is it for some of the guys who might have played their last game today but don't know? It's sort of hard for them to they can't say goodbye, can they?
Yeah, it's a bit strange. So we will have later a dinner together, and you don't really know what's going to happen. If we are able to sell, do we want to sell? Do we have a chance to get alternatives? So situation is not only for us as the responsibles for the rebuild and the responsibles for transfers. It's also for the players. Strange situation, and you could feel it. That's over a long period of time we managed to put it aside and keep the focus. And the longer it got after the national break, it had an impact on us, and it still has. So let's see when finally we will have the chance to act and make up, because the disadvantage in terms of timing for the rebuild is big, and we have to be fast and smart.
Every day, it grows every day, right?
Yeah, it grows every day, of course, while the two top teams improve their teams and have teams which are very clear on which they build. It's a kind of a rebuild necessary for us, and makes things more challenging, of course.
James Robson.
Hi Thomas. How quickly can you actually get onto your transfer planning, if you like? I appreciate obviously you can't sign any players, but internally, can you go on holiday straight away and leave it till the people, or will you just...
No, it's impossible. No, cannot go on holiday now. It's too much things to clarify and have an opinion. Of course, nowadays you can have meetings also on Zoom, so it's not necessary to do everything like in person. But the first days I will be here anyway and around, because my children are in school, and so it will start with a bit of a delay, the holidays. But even in holidays, it's also normal, like in a situation like ours, that you stay in contact, and you have, like I said, the possibility with Zoom and FaceTime to have calls and share opinions and to move on forward, because we need to.
Neil Barnett.
Two things. First of all, on fitness, no Marcus Alonso today.
Yeah.
And can't answer the door. We keep saying, or you keep saying, week to week and Achilles. It's Achilles, and that was his injury before. Is it related? What's the precision of his injury?
It's a muscle, more or less a muscle injury that affected then the whole leg, both legs, and was a lack of force that he can simply bring. So the tests show that he lacked mobility, and he lacked actually force to be on the pitch, and that's why we miss him now for so long. Marcos Alonso was just like he had a back problem in our first match against West Ham, where he needed to go out, and then he missed some matches, and he had more or less the same through the last games, and he played with this pain through the match versus Leicester. Now he felt like that's the muscle contraction goes right through until to the hamstrings, and that's why it made no sense to take this risk for him.
But the other thing, losing Tony Rudiger and losing Andreas Christensen, who are both really three at the back players, does it give you the chance maybe to look at a different shape next season? If you get into the transfer market, bring in people who can let you play more easily with the back four?
Yeah, but I don't know if it would be a chance or it would be another shift, because I don't think it's a problem of structure that we have, because we delivered in the structure on very high level and performances. So yes, but we're looking in every direction. I think that the structure suits our players very well, like not only the players that you mentioned, but also Thiago Silva and our midfielders in the build-up, and it suits Reece James very well and Ben Chilwell very well, because they have a bit more freedom to attack on both sides. So there were some reasons to play this structure, and in the way we played it, we were very successful and on a high level, very stable. So actually, it's not the plan to change it, but maybe we are forced to. We will, it's no problem to adapt, and it's no problem to find solutions. But the problem is that we are like simply forced to be passive, and this is what we absolutely don't like, and we are not used to that. So I can answer your question more precisely when things go moving and go forward, and we can start to act.
Andy Dillon?
Hi, Thomas.
Yeah.
Firstly, today's game felt a little bit like a turning point, like a transition. It's the final game of the Roman Abramovich era. Todd Bowley was waiting outside on the tunnel. Does it have that sense to you that it's now, we put that era behind us, and it's now looking forward with more optimism, perhaps more stability? And secondly, just on Mike Dean, the referee of his last game today, you're a relative newcomer to the Premier League.
Yeah.
I wonder if you got a chance to say anything or make a presentation to him or anything like that.
Yeah, we did, and we had a quick talk anyway, 1 hour before the match, and it was of course with Roy Hodgson and with him. So it was on me to show my respect and my appreciation, and to tell them that I'm honored to be part of their last match. They're huge personalities and huge figures in Premier League and international football, so I have nothing but the biggest respect, and this is what I told them. So honor for me to be part of it, and we wish them all the very best for their life after football. And the first one, I think that will sink in the next days that it was like this. I still struggle to fully adapt to the new situation, because the new situation is there and is close and is in theory so close, but it's not actually. So I hope it will be, and then I think it will like maybe feel more than a new era when things get started and when the new season kicks in.
Okay, last two, Jacob and then Darren to finish.
Hi Thomas, I know you can't obviously sign players at the moment, but pre-season is obviously not very far away, and the season obviously is an earlier start than usual. Is it really important for you to have defenders in as quickly as possible for pre-season?
Of course, and maybe the defenders will be in international duties if they have a certain quality or play for their national teams. That means anyway they come 1 week later than the rest, so that would mean in our case they come on the 9th of July. And this is the plan. Hopefully we can do this and have everybody for the pre-season, because it's kind of a pre-season where you have like at least 3.5, 4 weeks together. And not a lot of groups are coming in different timings. It's more or less 2 groups, and then we have to be quick and fast to adapt to the qualities, the personalities of these new guys. But first of all, we need to be able to sign and smart who we sign and and be on point.
Last question, Darren.
Just to be clear off the back of what Jacob was saying, do you have a clear idea of the specific players you want to get?
Yeah, we have.
And also, obviously it's been a very dramatic day, but top City through the last 4 seasons have had that race between themselves. How do you see next season with maybe Conte and Spurs coming along as well as yourselves? How tough a race will it be?
Yeah, it will be super tough race. Manchester United will be in the race. Tottenham will be in the race with Antonio Conte for sure, and we want to stay in the race. And Liverpool and Man City do everything to even make their squads bigger, and they set the standards so high. So this is the challenge in which we compete, and we have in the moment a huge disadvantage. That's not decisive yet, and there's no need to make excuses now, but it's just a situation in which we are in, and we have to be, Jinkas just repeat, they have to be as quick as possible. And right now it's of course unsatisfying because our hands are tied, and we cannot act as we want. We have clear ideas for the profiles and for the characteristic of these players, but it's not like you put a name on the list and then you get the player. You have to convince the player. You have to speak to other clubs. You have to convince yourself that this is the player. So there's normally a lot of work to do, and it will be the same to be competitive next season, while like everybody else tries to close the gap to us. And while the 2 top teams are what they are, a benchmark of consistency. So this is the situation, and from there on we do our very best to be competitive, because this is what we want to be.
Okay, leave it there. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Thomas. See you in July.